We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I'm not sure exactly how they would phrase it in their own locker room, but that's a yardage grab right there. To be able to get that amount of yardage on the first play of the game and a change field position to the positive side, you got to love the way they're getting started.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
The Chargers at 6-4 now on the year. The Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And his throw is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Herbert.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Divine Diablo.
20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
Makes the score Raiders 7, Chargers nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Fielded just inside the 20.
It's a 57-yard punt, 14 on the return.
And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. That's his 18th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
A chance of wasting this great starting field position. A real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Carlson is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lynch. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Herbert off of play action. interception, the third of this first quarter.
A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
At the 29-yard line.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And good pursuit yet again by the Chargers as they stuff him behind the line. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you to the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
They'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the first down at around the 22. 17-0 our score after 1.
Chargers, nothing.
Back to throw. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here this first half.
Chargers, nothing.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, Adams, what a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 30 yards.
Gain of 30. First down, Las Vegas.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
The tight end in motion right. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Trying to lay one up deep. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. He'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And it's complete to Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Daniel Carlson for the Raiders field goal. A 42-yard
Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Now a hit and a loose football, and the Raiders pick it up, but they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on the way to a lopsided victory.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. 62 yards on the clock that time. Wow. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Hey, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's got this down to the 35. So first and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in their second half blowout material. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. He's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. And now both of these defenses have something to brag about following this one, each with a pick six today.
They are even there, but we still have to decide a winner, don't we, partner? And what they really want to brag about after this one is getting that W. The turnovers are great. Can they make plays now that tilt the balance in their favor?
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. A tackle made by J.T. Woods. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the 44-yard line.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. It's Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating into traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second and 8. Back to throw here, Herbert. His throw complete right side to the tight end, Parham. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And now here is another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And they'll keep leaning on the line game. Back to the ground. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 130 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. On play action, they'll throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Now back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Herbert on third down now. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Loss on the play brings up fourth down.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. They'll try to run this one in. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately...
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense can very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout. But you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Right back to him on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
Samuel Jr. on the tackle.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down. They'll run it here. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on.
And now here is another interception. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Las Vegas, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. it.